And welcome everybody to episode 1 of the Game of Thrones spoilers show, or Game of Spoilers as I like to call it. My name is Anita. I'm also known as Pixie Dust Cosplay. I'm one of the show hosts of the CosCast here on YouTube. And with me I have my fellow CosCast hosts. Girls, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sunniva, aka Annabella Cosplay.
Welcome, ladies. I am guessing that we're all super psyched about our very first venture into Game of Thrones territory.
Yes. It's not our first venture into... Yeah,
well
it is.
Well, yeah, it's our first live stream about it, but I mean, we've been watching the show since season 1, and it's amazing that we've gone this far without actually making a show about Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's weird. So welcome to everyone in the chat. It's wonderful to see you guys. Hi Sarah, hi Ranirav, Kitty, Cecilia, Lucia Ferra. It's nice to have you with us. If you have any comments during the show, please feel free to post them in the chat and we will talk about them as soon as possible.
Also, is our sound okay?
Yeah, let us know if our sound is not good, if any one of us is not audible, that you know, we can fix that. Just let us know. Drop us a comment. And Sunniva, your sound is a bit low apparently this time. It's not me. I'll try to just adjust it a little bit. Okay, there. Is that better? Let me know, people. I'll also adjust her here. There. Okay. Hopefully that's better. Right, so I'm actually not the one who's going to be hosting the show tonight. Sunniva is actually going to do that. So I'm just going to leave the reins over to you, my dear.
Oh, thank you. I'm such a big nerd that I've actually been like watching one scene, hitting pause, writing a lot of stuff about it, going into the episode, try to analyze it the best way possible. Because I'm a big, like, conspiracy theory person. I like theories of what's gonna become. So I would like you guys to also write down all the things that you thought about during the episode, and also what you guys think might happen when we discuss things, right? That's just to have other people's views on things. First of all, the episode started with a recap of what happened in past seasons, not just only like the recent events, but also things that happened a long time ago. And what I kind of noticed about this recap is that there was no presentation of Sansa, there was no presentation of Melisandre, and there was no really presentation of Olenna, except for, you know, when the sept was blown up to pieces. What can that possibly mean?
Well, either it means, in my opinion, that that they're not going to be very prominent in the first part of the show, or just that they just didn't have enough time to include everyone in the recap.
Yeah, I sort of agree on that. Maybe it might have something to do with whom will be like the main people in this season, or just the main people of that said episode. But then again, Sansa had a big part in the trailer of the show for this season.
Yes.
So it might just be a coincidence and not have any special meaning to it at all.
Yeah, you might just be overthinking it a little bit. That's completely possible.
No, never.
So Tonya has shown up in cosplay today. I feel like I should mention that she's looking very Sansa-esque where she's sitting.
Yeah, well, it was the only thing I had at hand right now, so.
It's the only thing you had at hand.
Oh, you know, I just happen to have some fur lying around and this gorgeous red wig. Who doesn't?
Velvet, you know, just flying around, not being used yet. So.
I can see Cece wants Littlefinger to die soon.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
she is a prominent Sansa cosplayer, so I do understand that she might find him annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a pedophile.
A little bit maybe. But let's not spoil things ahead of time. I mean, there will be plenty of spoilers, don't get me wrong, but we'll get to it. We're going to do it chronologically.
Yeah. All right. Also, I find like the recap thing is kind of not really a Game of Thrones thing. They haven't done recaps before, have they?
No, I don't remember actually. That's a good question. But they should. I mean, that seems logical.
Yeah. It was a good recap. It was filled with like power and kind of set the mood for the first episode.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's jump right into it. The first scene with Walder Frey.
Yeah, I totally called that one from like the word go. I was like, oh, that's Arya. And Cecilia says so in the chat too. She totally called that it was Arya. #proud, she says.
Yeah. It actually took me a few seconds before I realized it was Arya because of the recap and it jumped right to that scene. I was like, okay, is this kind of a extra recap of what happened before Arya killed him? And then I was like, no, wait, this is real time. We haven't seen this scene before. Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, clever.
No, but I mean, because I remembered that Arya slit Walder Frey's throat, like, at the end of the last season, and I was like, well, he's dead. And all of the people gathered in the hall are just his sons, all male. So that kind of tipped me off. And then also, there were serving women serving wine, and he insisted on a toast. And I was like, yeah, no, you just confirmed my whole theory. Yep, it's Arya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what the recap is either. I can't remember seeing that.
Oh, I have it in my version.
Mm.
And I think all the people who went... No, I'm not sure if the people who went to see it in the movies have it, but maybe...
I saw it on HBO. I saw it on HBO and they didn't have a recap as I remember. So when I saw that first scene, I totally forgot that Arya had killed Walder. So I was like, oh, he's such a bad person. I'm sure he's gonna kill them just because he's disappointed in them. And of course he killed them like I expected him to do. And when he took off the mask, I was like,
I was actually swinging as well in the chair because I was like, yes, Game of Thrones,
yes. Okay, we already have some things in the chat that we need to address. Alex is wondering, would you be open to having people on to discuss with you? I would say yes. I don't know how you guys feel.
sure.
Yeah.
No, just our opinions matter.
No, that's totally cool. If you guys really want to come on, I guess we could send you a link to the chat and you can join on. Just be sure to have a headset and a microphone that's working and prepared in advance. So, yeah, for sure. We can like open up the end of the episode or something for that, maybe.
Yeah, we can do that. We can open up at the end of it.
Yeah.
All right. A question for later. We're gonna save that for later, I think.
Yeah. And also, Ranirov says about Littlefinger, she loves his creepy ass. So
I do too. I would be sad if he died.
I mean, he's entertaining. Yeah. I mean, I love to hate him, sort of, but I can't totally hate him. I don't know what it is.
He's done a lot of good stuff too.
Well, yeah, but mostly because it, proved out to be good for him. Like.
Yeah, of course he has to, make a profit or something out of it. I mean, he's not totally,
Okay.
good.
Yeah, but back to the opening scene with Walder Frey / Arya killing all of the Frey sons. Yes, it was so good. I mean, that was like, that scene made the episode for me. I was like, yeah, if they had just only shown me this, I would still be happy.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
They could have shown it in slow motion. I would be like,
With Arya walking down that aisle, like, even more badass than she already was, like, just slow-mo, like, yeah, bitches, what up?
I actually thought that this was one of the first times that Arya was a badass, because earlier I think she was, like, so whiny, she couldn't do anything right.
But you have to remember that she was, like, what, 12?
Yeah, sure, I mean, sure, but this is a fantasy series,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But this time I truly, loved Arya.
Mm.
Oh,
And that's, what does that say about you? I wonder. No, but yeah, I've always loved Arya. She was like my favorite from the get-go, and I used to hate Sansa with a passion. But now Sansa has turned into like one of my legit favorite characters after like season 3 or something.
Yeah, I didn't like Sansa either. She was worse.
Alright, let's move on, because we don't know much about Sansa and her.
But you have a quote here that you've written up in the script, which I feel like, do you want to read it?
I'm gonna do it. I was just about to do it. But the thing is with Arya in this scene is that she has so many good things, or amazing, cool quotes and things that she says. And all through this episode, I feel like the dialogue and script is written so well, because it has so many, like, we call in Norwegian gullkorn. It doesn't work.
It's like a one-liner, they usually call it, or a punchline.
Yeah, and they say things like, Arya says this thing when she takes off her mask, and she says, leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. And she's like, what? And I'm like, oh my god!
Face melt. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then after the scene, we have the Game of Thrones intro, as it's always very long, but still amazing. I watch it through every time.
I do too.
I don't skip it.
I love the animated like towers and
and the
so
music.
Good. Yes.
And you have to sing along.
Yeah, but every time it plays, all I can hear is Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
Game of fucking Thrones, Game of fucking Thrones. Also, the next scene, the opening scene after this is the White Walker scene. It's just like snow, and then a lot of like fog snow, I don't know, like snowstorm, and then you see the White Walkers. And it's so dark and vivid and emotional and so
it's terrifying is what it is, because you can totally see like, oh my god, death is coming.
And they have giants!
Yes, they have giants!
They have giants now.
Plural giants.
Yeah.
Not just one.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, they have a giant. No, 2, no, 3. Oh my god.
We're doomed. But just in the chat, Alex is saying that the Frey scene shows how good Arya is at acting like other people. That is one hell of a skill, because it's no use having the ability to steal faces if you can't act like them. Yes, true. I agree. Word.
She's a very good cosplayer.
Yes, she is.
And also the quote Cecilia is referring to tell them the North remembers.
Yes.
Like,
shivers.
Yes. And I'm just like excited of what Arya's gonna do next. Can we just talk about Arya, please? No.
Yes, just all the episode about Arya? No.
We're gonna talk a bit more about her later.
Yes, later. We promise.
Yeah. But
Sahara says they have giants equals, they are fucked.
Yeah, they pretty much are. It's like, sorry, just all go home. No. But then it shifts to Bran using his three-eyed raven skills. And he's finally outside the wall now, and he's actually taken in by people. It's not just him and a few other guys anymore. What do you guys think that will turn out to be?
I think that Mira Reed was so happy that gate opened.
And she don't have to drag that his ass no more.
Yes.
I can totally relate that.
Yeah. Because she looked like she was about to drop.
Yeah.
Like, someone carried that girl in, please. That was all I was thinking. Like, she's clearly exhausted.
But I'm like, maybe I will start liking Bran, because I've always looked up at him as this kind of brat kind of guy that I don't like. And he's always doing, like, last season he did so many stupid things, and we're like, no, Bran, no, don't use your powers here. Bran, no, Bran, come on, Bran.
Why are you doing this to us? Stop being so stupid.
Yeah. I was kind of like, with all the, youngest children, I was like, oh, I don't like you, but I loved your father, so I guess I have to like you too.
We tolerate him.
You're not you're like Jon Snow and not like Sansa.
Yeah, no, but I think, like, the most unfortunate Stark child so far was Rickon, who didn't really get to do anything and then was shot to death with an arrow through his chest in, like, last season. Like, that was just sad. Poor Rickon.
Have you guys seen the meme with the picture of Ramsay Bolton and Rickon? And it just says spoilers over Ramsay Bolton, and over Rickon it just says you.
Because the internet is dark and full of spoilers.
Oh yeah, and you have to run from them.
Yes. Run fast in a zigzag pattern.
And also, but what do we think Bran will do from now on? He's the only one who actually knows who Jon Snow's real parents are.
Right. Okay, I have one theory about Bran, and a lot of people don't like it just because they don't like Bran in general. But I think that maybe, just maybe, he might become one of the 3 dragon riders. Because he can... Yeah, because he can't possibly ride the dragon, but he could warg into it.
Yeah.
And, like, take over the mind of the dragon, like he did with Hodor. So, I'm like, I don't think it's very plausible, but I think it's an option. It's a possibility.
It's an option.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we'll get back to the dragon thing later. I just wanted to mention it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Do you think that he will meet up with Jon? Do you think he will reveal the secret to Jon? Or will someone else get the information before it reaches Jon?
If so, I think it will happen either the last episode of the season or next season.
So you think that...
Just because it would be too easy if Jon got to know that before too much stuff had happened.
Yeah, it might be true. But I still think it's interesting. It's like Bran is this mystical creature now. He's not really a person, he's a creature. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this will all turn out in the end. But it will be interesting to see.
But something that Cecilia says, that she thinks that maybe Bran will be a peacemaker between Jon and Dany. I'm not maybe peacemaker, but I think he might be the reason that, in my mind, that Dany and Jon will marry because of Targaryen blood.
Maybe because we have to talk about the fact that Jon Snow is half Targaryen. I'm pretty fucking certain that Jon Snow is half Targaryen.
Yeah, me too. And I guess a lot of Game of Thrones fans. Oh my god, that was hard to say.
Yeah. Thronies, as they call them.
Thronies!
Yes.
I'm guessing that's why a lot of Thronies have been talking about him being a Targaryen all from the get-go.
Yeah.
And this kind of just confirmed that theory. Which is
and besides, he's like Jon Snow of the North. She's like fire because of dragon.
Yeah, she'll be the queen of the South, I think, at some point.
Ice and Fire. It's one of the books, I think, called something.
No, the whole series is called The Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he's ice and she's fire.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Maybe they will unite Westeros again at the end. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Yeah. That would be nice. It would be nice if that happened.
Yeah, but it was also a theory about Bran being the one who made the Mad King mad, because he went back in time to try to warn the Mad King about the White Walkers coming, and then he started talking about, let's burn everything.
That could be.
we'll just have to wait and see
Yeah.
if that happens this season or not.
All theories now.
Because we did learn last season that he was able to actually talk, because Ned, he reacted when Bran called out for him.
Yeah.
So maybe Bran will explore his powers more and try to meddle with the future or the past.
It seems likely.
So there's a theory out there that Bran is the one who caused everything to go.
Aww.
And that's why I don't like Bran.
Now, I've just never liked him just because he never listens. It's like, don't climb towers. Don't go into the dreams alone. You're not ready yet. And what does he do? The exact opposite.
Don't meddle with the past. Don't, and what does he do? Dad, hello, let's just...
Yeah. Alex does say that neither Jon or Dany have the possibility to have children, so they would never have an heir. Well, I mean, Jon could possibly father children, but Dany is barren. Yeah, that's true. Well, revived. He used to be dead. I don't know if that... I mean, does dying make you impotent? I don't know. I've never been dead or undead, so... It's an interesting quandary. But maybe they'll adopt someone.
But it's okay.
I don't know.
They have the dragons to be the babies.
They have dragon babies. They don't listen to you whatsoever. They do.
No.
All right. But then we have the Jon Sansa arguing scene where Jon talks about we need to find the dragon glass. We need all the dragon glass in the world to defeat the White Walkers. We need to make all the children between 10 to 60 years old trained and ready to fight. What do you think of this scene? Let's talk about the 10 to 50 first.
I think that is quite clever because the White Walkers won't care if they're 10 or 60. They kill everyone, so everyone should have a chance to defend themselves.
And they don't care if you're a girl or boy either.
No, I think it's a nice thing that they actually choose to involve both sexes into the fight. Like, you can't exclude 50% of the population if we're gonna win this thing.
Exactly.
And like Brienne, whatever her name was, the little girl. Is it Lyanna maybe?
You mean Lady Mormont?
Yes, I think Lyanna Mormont. Lyanna Mormont is her name. Yeah. She is so badass. Every scene she is in, I'm like, yes, you go, little girl. Yeah. Tell him where it's at.
But I kind of, expect her to be like that. And it's like, it's a little much, but, I still believe it because I still think that script is written so well that it kind of, it doesn't become that cheesy, but I do find that scene a little bit cheesy just because they kind of dragged it out so long, but I still liked it. Yeah.
And I mean, it's all hands on deck. I mean, because Jon realizes that this shit is serious and we can't afford to let anyone who can fight not fight.
Exactly. Lyanna Mormont.
Yes, Lyanna Mormont, yes.
Or question mark. Yeah, whatever.
Yes. She's just awesome in my book. Have you guys seen this meme that if Lyanna Mormont had 3 dragons, this show would have ended in season 2? I love that meme. It's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I love her spunk, her authority, her, presence.
All right.
Yeah, it's just... Let's see. Sahara says, the series starts with boys do the thing. If you look at every woman that is alive, they have been ruled by men, and now the men are dead, and they are strong and powerful.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And Cecilia agrees with Jon in that scene.
Sansa and the Stark Umber family thing. I think it's really great that Sansa actually stands up and tells her opinion, because she is a Stark too, and she is even more Stark than Jon is. And it's important that she has a thing to say in this, because she's evolved so much during like this whole Game of Thrones experience.
Yeah, I mean, to me, she is the character with the most like intriguing and biggest like evolution. Her character arc is just very fascinating to me.
Yeah, but also this relationship between Jon and Sansa. At this point, it seems like, because you have cutscenes with Littlefinger standing in a corner being all like meh, 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 and then you have Sansa being angry at Jon, and Jon being angry, and Jon like standing up and says that no, this is the way we've always done it. This is the way I'm gonna lead. I'm gonna lead just like that did, and blah blah blah.
And I mean, I find it hard, because I see the wisdom in both of their sides, so I find it hard to say that no, Jon is right or no, Sansa is right, but I feel like it was important for them to have that discussion openly, because that told the other lords in the hall that this is something that we don't take lightly, and
exactly.
we've considered all of the options, and we can't afford to lose more people. And yeah. And I mean, I would probably take Jon's choice if it were me, because if I can spare people, I would. And seriously, those kids, the young lady like Karstark and young Lord Umber, I couldn't have like killed them for something that their parents did or taken away their homes. It's like, look at them, they're scared, they're kids.
Also, just for being like random kid actors who doesn't have anything more to do with the series, they acted so well. It didn't seem weird at all. It seemed like they were actually very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There was genius.
Yes, it really worked. They looked so nervous, but like, and then they were like, yeah, I would draw my sword. Yes, I swear fealty to you. No problem there.
Thank you for letting me stay in my home.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up Cecilia's comment in just a few seconds.
Yeah.
Because the next scene after this one is with only Jon and Sansa. And it's with Jon and Sansa arguing, because he's like, don't step on my toes, Sansa. And she's like, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to help you. And the comment by Cecilia is that Sansa knows the south, Jon knows the north, so they need to work together. And this kind of shows how well they work together. And it kind of made me think of Catelyn Stark and Ned Stark.
Yeah, sort of.
So I'm kind of like, I want them to marry, and I'm like, no, don't. What are you doing?
Well, if the Targaryens can do it, you know.
But seriously, no, I don't want them to. But
No.
they have this really, really great relationship together, and they just work so well together, and I like it.
Yeah. Okay, Ranirav just mentioned something that I totally agree with. Jon died due to his politics in Castle Black, while Sansa survived the politics in King's Landing, so the naive politics of Jon might end up biting him in the butt in the long term. Yes, it could.
Don't listen to Sansa.
Yes.
That it.
But also, he can't go completely over to Sansa's side, because that might actually, alienate some of his allies at some point, I think, too. Because Sansa is very jaded and very like, no, I'm not going to think of the people. I need to think about power and allies and maneuvering.
Yeah. She's learned a bit too much from Cersei, I think.
Yeah, and Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Because she's been through so much, and all she's learned is that if you let people take advantage of you, they will.
Yeah. Because Sansa, she admits that she has learned a lot from Cersei.
Yes.
In the end of this scene. But how much do we think that her character has changed throughout? Because there's a huge change. In this scene, I'm like, shit. Sansa looks so mighty. She looks so powerful. She looks
badass.
Like this badass, strong woman. And in the start of the show, she was just like this naive, dumb bimbo.
Yeah, like, I just want to have babies with golden hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not there anymore.
No, not at all. And I really love the change, and it's so believable as well.
Yeah.
And you can also see it in the way she wears her costumes. Her colors has changed. She only wears, like, dark colors now. And I'm not sure what that's about, but, she's almighty and powerful.
Yeah, no, but I think that's just that is where the show is going now, because I think everyone's costumes are going darker because things are grimmer and more serious, and the winter is coming, so it's colder. Winter has come. Yes, that's true. So things are colder, definitely. So I think that that might have something to do with it, but it also has a lot to do with how her character has changed, because she is not that little girl in pink dresses anymore. She is a woman, and she is a strong, determined woman. She has a goal.
And I really like that she has the power of making her own decisions.
Yes.
And I do believe that if Arya and Sansa were to meet at this point, Sansa would kind of win over Arya. Not that they would have a fight together or anything, but I think that Sansa is now stronger than Arya, and before it was the opposite. Because Arya would always outwit Sansa.
Yeah. That might have changed now. They might be more equal now, I think.
Yeah, in some ways.
Because they're both jaded. I mean, they're taking lives in different ways, but they are both taking lives, and they are both really serious about what they want.
Also, Cersei sent a message to Jon this scene, and she told Jon to bend the knee, or you will be treated as deserters. Basically.
Yeah, traitors to the throne.
Exactly, and that will never happen. Jon will never bend the knee to Cersei.
No.
What kind of consequences will this have?
Well,
I'm not sure, really, because the Lannisters don't have a lot of allies right now.
No, they don't. But Cersei, as Sansa says, Cersei, she won't rest until you're dead. And if anyone is coming back as a ghost, a vengeful spirit in this series, it would be Cersei.
Yes, very true.
She at some point should die, which will probably happen at some point, but, everyone dies in Game of Thrones anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so after they talk about that, it kind of fades over into King's Landing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it does. It's the Cersei versus Jaime scene.
Yeah.
Where Cersei is standing on a big map of Westeros. And Jaime comes into the scene, and the painter who paints this map, he leaves. And they have this talk, and the scene is so awkward.
Yeah.
It's so much tension throughout the whole scene. And you can just see that Cersei is testing Jaime through the whole scene. She would say all these outrageous things just to see how he reacts, if she can trust him or not. It's so obvious, and it's like, cringe.
But to me, it almost didn't seem like she was testing him, but like she meant it too.
Oh yeah, she did.
I was kind of like, I guess she's testing him, or poking him, because of the prophecy that she will be killed by her brother.
Yeah, this prophecy is also very, very interesting, because it says that she will be killed by her little brother. That's what it exactly says. And that might be Jaime, it might be Tyrion, who knows?
Yeah, it could be either one of them, but that part of the prophecy is not included in the TV show. It's only in the books, I think. I think you mentioned that before we started.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not really sure, but I know it's a part of the prophecy at least.
So yeah, because when all your tears are dry or something,
you will be killed by. You will be strangled by your little brother.
Right. Yes, there we go. Cecilia says, Cersei either wins or she dies, and at the moment she looks like she's far from winning the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's like, just using her last bit of gasoline and just like making as much mess as she can. And she really hates everything, and she just wants to see the world burn. Which is Major Mad King vibes all over the place.
Yeah. So instead of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen. Just a little bit of a Lord of the Rings crossover happening here.
But her dress, it's this. Her dresses also have changed a lot.
Yeah.
Sansa, she has also taken a very dark turn, but her dresses are more like armor now.
Yeah.
The first dress she wore for this scene was a kind of, it was this black holed leather thing that was over another gown.
Yeah, it looked like she had like a woolen, like tweed-ish kind of fabric underneath the leather or something.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that dress, because I was thinking more like, okay, in this time, everything was handmade. How did you make that fabric?
Well,
some
poor soul had to cut out all of those holes, I'm pretty
what
sure.
did he use?
Scissors?
Puncture machine or something.
Yeah, something.
But that's what I was thinking, at least.
Yeah.
The next scene is with when the Iron Islanders come visit.
Yeah.
And this scene is actually really, really funny.
Yeah,
but
I laughed.
Again, we see a lot of beautiful scenery, which I think kind of goes through this whole episode, is that we see a lot of big shots of beautiful scenery, beautiful music, and a lot of traveling, it seems.
And all of the locations feel empty because there are almost no people.
Yeah, it's weird. There's no people anywhere. Where are the people? And then Euron Greyjoy arrives. What do we think of him?
Well, Euron Greyjoy is a psychopath. Just putting that out there. I read the books. He's bat crap crazy.
Yeah, he is. But to me, he kind of looks like a sort of rock star pirate from the 80s. He could have been like in an 80s glam rock band or something.
Yeah. It would be called Euron and the Greyjoys. That would be the name of his band.
That's his band.
Yes.
And also, he's just like testing Jaime throughout this whole scene. And he's just it's like they have this battle of the wits almost.
Yeah, like they're trying to insult each other in the most creative ways they can think of. That was my...
Yeah, it's like, here I am with 2 functioning hands.
Yeah, and when he says like, you should murder,
I enjoyed it. You should try it.
Yeah, when he said you murdered your brother, you should try it. So much fun.
Sarah has a question though. Will Jaime leave Cersei, or will Cersei leave him? Or we've talked a little bit about this beforehand.
I'm not really sure what I think about this, because it's a lot of things that kind of leads to Jaime being the one who has to pull the trigger and kill Cersei at one point. But I'm not so sure about this.
No. But I'm thinking that too. I think that he is the king killer. I mean, and he might just be the queen killer in the end too. Because he's seeing how crazy she is and how, because she's taking a step off and just chosen to go down crazy,
I'm not
the
really
crazy
sure
hill.
that he will kill her. I mean, he had a chance to, be a part of murdering his little brother.
And he didn't.
He didn't. He set him loose. I think he's very loyal to his family, but he's very,
Obedient, you mean?
Obedient.
Oh, resigned.
Resigned of his family and their ways. So I think he will kind of maybe leave Cersei because he sees that she is beyond repair or something.
I don't know. I mean, I think he let Tyrion go because he knew that Tyrion didn't do this. I mean, he didn't kill his nephew, Joffrey.
I have a theory. And that is, like Lucia Farah says, what about the prophecy Cersei received and as a youth? And that was what we talked a little bit about earlier, about her being killed at the end by her little brother. And at the end of this scene with Euron, he proposes to Cersei, and he says that he's gonna bring back a gift. And what I was thinking this gift should really mean is like Daenerys' head or something. That's what I initially thought. But then I thought maybe he wouldn't get to Daenerys. Maybe he would get the next best thing, which would be Tyrion.
Yeah, that is
alive.
possible.
And if he fetches Tyrion alive, maybe that will end up in Tyrion killing Cersei.
Yeah. Yeah, there are so many ways this could go. It's crazy.
My first thought was that he would kind of slay one of the dragons or something to give that an advantage.
Possibly.
Bring back the dragon's head or tooth or claw or something as proof that I'm valuable to your cause against Daenerys.
I don't think he'd be able to get his hands on the dragons, though. I mean, they fly, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, they fly, and they are usually on the front line as well, so they would be easier to get to than Daenerys.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna take the dragon, though.
And that will also be like, a huge poke in the side of Daenerys if he actually manages to slay one of her nicer dragons.
Maybe, but I mean, there's also this thing that she needs 3 dragon riders, and I think that's going to happen. And for that to happen, the 3 dragons have to be alive.
I'm not saying that he actually manages to kill the dragon.
But he might try, sure.
Yeah, he might try and fail miserably, and then Cersei will, get even fewer allies because all the fleet will be burned down by dragons.
Yeah, because, I mean, they talked about that when they were standing on the map, because there's been a coup in Dorne, so Oberyn Martell's, poor widow has taken over control there, and she hates Cersei.
Yeah.
And then there's the North with Jon and Sansa, and then there's Daenerys coming in, and then there's the White Walkers. So she has precious few allies.
Yeah, and I kind of like the idea of everyone gathering around her, pushing her further and further into her own madness.
Cecilia says, "Notice my punny comments, please, senpais."
Jamie slays.
Jamie slays.
Boom.
Yeah. Wait. Boom.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any sunglasses now. Sorry. Also, enough about that. Let's talk about Cersei's dress, because it was so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, the embroidery on that neck thing, out of this world. It was so good. Out of this world.
Looked like actual armor.
Yeah.
Even like the fabric on the dress looked like it was armor. And
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's yeah. It made us gag, darling, over her extravaganza, as RuPaul would say.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Citadel Sam. Sam did so many stupid things this episode. No, not really, but still.
I felt so sorry for him, because I know I would be doing the same things, like, Yeah. Alright.
I'm just gonna say one thing, and this scene is like, this one I felt was really, really, really different style of how to make the scene, because we've never seen like a compilation before.
No, that was what I was thinking too. Like, this is very uncharacteristic editing for Game of Thrones.
I was like thinking this is like a stump.
Yeah, look at that.
Make music out of a lot of sounds.
Yeah.
Putting them together in a rhythmic order. And it was like,
I think they just needed a really quick way of informing the audience that he is going through some tedious ass shit that he has to do every day. Literally, sorry for the pun.
And they had to do it in the best Game of Thrones style ever, which is making it as graphic and real as possible. If they're gonna do nudity and sex graphic and real, why not pukes and poops as well?
Yeah, and at some point the food and the poop and the pukes all looked the same.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It was all just this dirty brown color.
I was eating while I watched it. And I was like, nah, I'm taking a pause with my eating right now. Oh, look, there's a like, I've never ever in any TV series or movie ever seen a log floating
No, that's true.
in a piss pot before.
No, I have not seen that either. That is the first. So, congrats to Game of Thrones. You have broken the barrier.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked, even though this is not a thing you should. I'm sorry, Cecilia. She's eating dinner. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Oh my god, look at the vein in my forehead.
You're very into this subject, I can tell. Oh my god. Alright, okay. Cecilia says, my mom wants Sam to win the game. # Team Librarians.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, that's very sweet. I mean, I hated Sam in the beginning, but I like him more and more.
You remind me of Sam from The Lord of the Rings.
I loved Sam from Lord of the Rings. I hate Sam in Game of Thrones. Or I did. Now I'm growing. He's growing on me.
Oh, now when he's like fucked up his life, that's when you kind of know. Only kidding. But it was this big Harry Potter, what do you call it, like teaser or no, Easter egg?
Yeah,
Harry
Easter
Potter
egg.
In this episode, and it's the scene when Sam talks to the Archmaester Ebros.
Yeah.
About,
alias Jim Broadbent.
Yeah.
Isn't that his name? Yeah.
I'm coming to it.
Yeah.
About getting into the restricted section of the library.
Yes.
Like, it reminds so much of the scene between Slughorn and Tom Riddle from The Half-Blood Prince. Professor Slughorn about the Horcruxes. And that, to me, is kind of a warning signal, because this is about something so dangerous. And since it's the same actor who plays both this Archmaester and Tom Riddle. No, not Tom Riddle. Slughorn.
Professor Slughorn, yes.
It's so hot. It kind of is kind of a premonition or warning of what's to become of Sam.
Maybe.
Since they have obviously taken their time to kind of remake this scene into Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Cecilia says 20th year celebration Easter egg, because Harry Potter just turned 20 years, so maybe that's what it is.
What?
Maybe.
20 years?
Yeah, I know. I felt old when I realized that too. But yeah.
But it's not 20 years with the movies. It's 20 years with
since the books were published.
Still, I've read the books as well. So.
Yeah. Oh, I read them as a kid, so Harry Potter has been in my life for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is Slughorn. It's the same actor as
yes,
well.
it is. It is Slughorn.
Cecilia just got her mind blown.
Yes.
We could watch that scene and then watch the Slughorn scene on YouTube as well, because they're so similar. They use kind of the same pan of the camera and the way they switch between the two characters, and they also use the same setup of the room where the actress is standing, and also like how it looks, and also they have like the same close-up on Slughorn / Archmaester Ebros, which is just it's just mind-blowingly fun. Easter egg.
Except that there's a corpse and weighing of inner organs in the Game of Thrones scene.
Yeah.
Which did not bother me, actually.
The only thing that bothered me was that he kept asking Sam to, like, what is the heart weighing? And Sam never told him. And then he just like closes the book and leaves. I'm like, but you haven't written down the weight of the heart.
Yeah, that bothered me too. Like, finish your goddamn job.
Yeah.
Cecilia just said, I haven't lived in a world without Harry Potter. Imagine that.
Lol.
Yes, you're so young. My summer child. But yeah, that was just...
Also, what happens during the night is that Slughorn, I can't stop talking about it.
Ebros.
Sam, he breaks into the restricted section because he steals a set of keys from an Archmaester who's sleeping. Will this break-in have consequences?
Well, that depends if he returns the books before people notice that they're gone or not. But what he discovers in those books will most likely have huge consequences. And I knew that Dragonstone had dragon glass beneath it. I don't remember if it's been mentioned in the show or if it's just because I read the... Yeah. Because I knew, and I was like, oh, finally! Now! So, just, but you find out only once the island has become inhabited with dragons and a Targaryen once more.
So we will find it out for real soon, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking this might be very good for the greater good, the world.
Yeah.
But for Sam himself, it might have major consequences, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be for the good part of it.
Yeah, we just don't know.
But I'm not sure if archmaesters are the one to punish people or not, but maybe he will be kicked out.
He survived White Walkers, even killed one of them. He'll be fine.
Well, you know what killed Steve Irwin? It was a little fish.
Yeah, a stingray that just poked him in the heart and he died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never know.
And then we have the Brienne and
Tormund. Yeah.
Oh, I have to tell you one thing though about Brienne and Tormund, because I saw a meme on the internet.
Yeah.
Where you see picture of Tormund and the plus sign, and then Brienne, and then you got equals Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I saw that too. That is so cute. And it totally looks like that could be legit.
Like, do we feel like they will end up together?
I think he will have to work pretty hard to convince her to get together with him, but I think it would be funny to see him try.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that it will never happen, that it will be just this ongoing meme forever and ever, because I think if it would ever to happen, it would be such a big anti-climax thing that it would be like, ugh, you just broke it.
I mean, how would you write that scene? Just, that would be really hard to make it believable and to make it good, and yeah, it's tricky.
But
like, I totally ship it, but I also am not sure if I really want it to happen on screen.
Exactly. I really love the awkwardness around it. It's so amazing. It's the best relationship ever.
Yeah. It's like,
not really a relationship though.
No, but it's a ship. It's definitely a ship. Cecilia also said, my friend pointed out that the top of the dragon glass mountain is probably the throne where Dany arrived. Maybe. It could be. But, yeah.
Suppose... So.
Yeah. Ronderev says, Brienne and Tormund is my fave. That look on Tormund's face as he approached Brienne training pod. And he was like, you're a lucky man.
but I think like that he wants her, not in maybe the romantic sort of way, but maybe like a dominatrix sort of way.
Maybe.
You want her to punish him or something.
Yeah, but I think he's never seen a woman like Brienne, and he's like, wow.
This is a lady.
Yeah, this is a lady. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
In the same scene, we also see Sansa and Littlefinger talk.
Yes.
And this is truly a battle of wits.
Yes.
Which Sansa totally slays. Because like, there's no reason for you to have the last word, because you're probably just gonna say something clever anyway, and he's just like,
okay, I'm gonna leave.
But what does Littlefinger want? Because he wants something. What is it?
Littlefinger wants to rule the world. Like, there's a quote from one of the previous seasons, like, he would be king of the ashes. He would be just king of ash and dust, just as long as he could be king. Like, he doesn't care about anyone else or the world.
I can picture him as a king, maybe a shadow king, but not king. I mean, I see more like he wants someone he can control in some way, but he wants to be in control, but have someone else as the face of control or or whatever. So
Oh, that's the way I like things. Totally me.
Right. Yeah. No. But yeah. He wants the world, and I also think he still wants Sansa in some perverse way because she's like the more beautiful version of Catelyn Stark, which is the woman he never got.
And she.
Yeah, and he can't have her anymore because
No.
she's dead.
And Sansa also kind of resembles more and more of the young Catelyn Stark, which is the version of Catelyn that Littlefinger actually had a thing for.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Cecilia mentions that in the book it was written about a knife who is apparently the knife who the Lannisters tried to kill Bran with, which is Littlefinger's knife, yes. In the books, it is kind of hinted at the fact that the knife belonged to Littlefinger, and he supplied the knife to someone to frame the Lannisters. Because Littlefinger won the knife in a gamble with Tyrion Lannister or something like that. So the knife was originally a Lannister knife, but Littlefinger had it in his possession and gave it to an assassin.
Very true.
Yeah, and so, I mean, just like the end comment of that scene too, when Brienne says he wants something, and Sansa says, I know what he wants.
Yeah, he wants her.
Yeah, and it was such, good. I love Sansa so much.
Yeah, she's so amazing. She's just like this powerful, awesome, and she's so freaking beautiful.
Yes.
Queen!
Yeah,
I can't keep my eyes from her because she's so freaking beautiful.
Yes.
But we'll Sansa put together.
Yes, you're welcome.
Huh?
I know, thank you, darling.
Aww.
Now you got it.
But I totally lost my train of thought there.
Yeah.
I was about to say something important. Yeah. Because Sansa seems to become more and more like Cersei. But will she become just as Cersei, or will she actually become the version of Cersei that Cersei really would like to be? If you understand what I mean. Like, if Cersei was sane, is this...
She would be what Sansa is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean. I just hope that keeping Jon and other people around her that she can trust and who loves her will soften her up a little bit and not turn her completely into Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Very true.
Yeah.
And then, after this scene, we have the big Ed... oh my god, I forgot his name.
Sam?
No, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, Ed Sheeran.
Yes. Ed Sheeran, thank you.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran scene. Which a lot of people has complained about because it's a not really well-placed camo. But that's what happened every time you put a celebrity in a TV series or a movie. You will always recognize them and be like, oh, that's that guy, or that's that woman, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
but it's so weird because what is he? It's like a singer. He's not even a actor. I mean,
no, I mean he's a recording artist. He's a singer.
He's a singer. But the thing with Ed Sheeran is that
Sheeran,
thank you. Is that he is also the one who sings the theme of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Icy Fire. And
yeah.
It's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I know him for.
I just think he's a legitimate nerd.
I think so too. So I kind of think that he is very nice in this scene. And also the song he sings is really beautiful. And then we can see Arya riding in on her horse. And she actually stops and talks to them. And this is probably my favorite scene of the whole episode, and that's just because Arya stops. Arya is now a cold-blooded killer. Arya is not really Arya anymore. And she should be skeptical towards strangers, and especially strangers in uniform.
Yeah.
But no.
Lannister strangers.
Exactly. And she stops and she talks to these guys and she realizes that they are just normal people.
Mm.
And
But it humanizes the enemy, basically.
We kind of get this we kind of get to see Arya from what she was the season 1, season 2, season 3, from when, you know, she befriended the people who was beneath her.
Yeah, like Gendry and the crow who was taking her back north, and
yeah. And it's just nice to see that Arya is still Arya and not become this assassin. But I'm a bit afraid that this naivety that she still has might be her downfall.
Or maybe it's just is that thing that will keep her human.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it will keep her from going all over the edge and just becoming a homicidal killing machine.
Yeah. It can go both ways.
We just never know. We just never know with George R.R. Martin and Westeros. It's a hard place to be in.
But I think that this scene is so nice because of the way it makes me feel about Arya again.
Yeah.
That it's still Arya. She's not complete.
It didn't bother me that Ed Sheeran was in it. I mean, he's a really good singer, and the song was very sweet, and it was like it kind of like made it feel like these guys aren't as dangerous as we think they might be. Even though you were like skeptical throughout the whole thing. Like, yeah,
because it was an awkward scene, and it was really weird, but I still kind of felt that it was important.
Cece said that she saw in a video that Arya will probably end up killing him. That would be interesting to see how that develops if he comes back in the next episode or something.
Ed Sheeran?
Yeah. Because, I mean, he is a Lannister soldier. He's in a Lannister, like, armor. Yeah. So, I mean, if they figure out that she's Arya Stark, they're kind of honor-bound to kill her or arrest her or something, right?
Yeah.
So
or maybe she's just playing them all along. Maybe she is this cold-hearted killer after all.
Yeah, maybe we're just being fooled, taken in like the dummies we are.
Might be.
Yeah. I mean, because she might just kill them and take one of their faces and, like, assimilate with the army.
She got lots of new faces.
Yeah, lots of new faces. Yeah, so that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and also Cece saying it's parallel to another earlier scene where she killed soldiers in around the same setting. She looked at their weapons closely, but that she probably hesitates when she meets them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a very interesting scene because you didn't really know where it was gonna go. Because it could have ended in a bloodbath, or it could have ended like it did, or it could have just been like, no, thanks, I'm gonna pass on that and just keep going my own way, sort of thing. It was just like I couldn't tell where it was going.
And also when they ask her where are you heading, why are you going to King's Landing, and she's like, I'm gonna kill the Crane. Now, will Arya ever get to kill the Queen?
Yeah, we want to know. It would be so good if she did, though. I kind of wish that Arya would be the one to kill the Queen, but it might be Tyrion or one of her closest family and friends.
Oh my God! It's gonna be Arya in Jaime or Tyrion disguise.
Yeah, that would be something. Oh yeah,
that would be kind of creepy.
But then one of them has to die, and that would be sad.
Yeah.
But someone's gonna die this season, but we're gonna talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yes. Because we haven't gotten through the episode yet, and we've been doing this for like an hour.
But we're been there.
We're getting there.
Over halfway done. So
yes.
It's soon to the end. Then we have a scene with the Hound, Thoros of Myr, and Beric Dondarrion.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I kind of find funny with this scene is that Thoros of Myr and Beric Dondarrion, they call him Clegane all the time.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that every time they have referenced to him in other episodes and in other seasons and anywhere, really, he's always been called just the Hound.
Yeah. He has a name now.
And now he's been called Clegane so many times that I'm kind of thinking that, is this a sign of him becoming more and more human?
Yeah.
because he has shown a lot of emotions and empathy throughout.
And regrets.
Yeah. And that's kind of nice.
It is, definitely. Okay, so there are many things in this scene that I think are, or these scenes that are interesting. One is that Clegane actually ends up staring into that fire and sees, like, he has a vision of where the White Walkers are coming from. They're going to Eastwatch by the sea, and they're just going around the fucking wall.
Yeah. And that is also what John did say earlier, and that's where he's sending all the wild ones.
Yeah. So that was interesting. So apparently finding the Lord of Light is, this god has some power of some sort, definitely. We've seen it before, and now it's manifesting again. So the Lord of Light is definitely still a big, like, major force to be reckoned with in the story.
But I'm not sure if it's a good thing or if it's a bad thing.
No, because I still don't know if the Lord of Light is actually a good god or not. I have no idea. I mean, raising people from the dead is necromancy, for crying out loud. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, like, so
maybe
yeah.
That song of Ice and Fire is like the Lord of Light, and there's another Lord of what? Frost.
The Frost, the Ice King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Sahara says the Hound is just so adorable at the moment. Yeah,
it is. I mean,
cute.
because he buried that poor girl and that poor farmer, which I think were the same people that he and Arya stole food from earlier.
I think they are.
Yeah.
It is the same people.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And like he gave them a grave and like just kind of trying to atone for past sins and
not only trying to atone. Did you see how gentle he was lifting
Yeah.
the girl?
yeah.
Like, it was his own or something. Like,
Yeah,
she was
there
so
were
alive.
feelings there, man. Genuine feelings.
Is he still on Arya's list though?
Hard to say. I think a little piece of her still wants to kill him, but I'm not sure if she can.
But doesn't she think he's dead?
No.
No, she left him for dead, so she might actually think he's dead.
I mean, she didn't stay around to see
Oh
him.
no.
So,
No, he just left him for dead.
yeah, and he was pretty close. Hadn't he met those people?
Sahara says, "Can someone please cosplay the Hound?"
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
So Sahara can take pictures in her Arya cosplay with the Hound. That would be so good. I need this in my life. Please, someone do it.
Ooh, Cecilia Hansen said, "Inside scoop, I think they filmed a bit on Iceland this winter, but that they probably won't be coming back there anymore. So the story is moving to the south. At least that's what our guide said." That's interesting.
Yeah, but logical. It seems like things are centering on the south.
It will eventually, I guess.
Yeah. And also at the premiere, Kristoffer Hivju, who plays Torment, mentioned that they have been shooting in Spain. So most likely there will be more things happening in Dorne or maybe in Highgarden.
Ooh, that would be interesting. I want to see more of Olenna.
Yeah. Olenna, yeah. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's badass.
Also, Sahara said that Arya took the Hound off her list. That's what I thought I remembered, but I didn't know.
Makes
for
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. But then we get to the scene with Sam reading the books that he borrowed, and he discovers the dragon glass underneath Dragonstone. This we have already talked about a bit earlier.
You don't need to get into it.
And we already know that this is where Dany is headed because Cersei has already said this earlier in the episode. So do we have any thoughts about this? How will we get to this dragon glass?
Well, I think that him writing a note, he was writing a note to Jon, to send it to Jon. But Sam doesn't know that Jon is not at the wall anymore, I don't think. So he will probably be sending that note to the wall. And then the wall will have to send the note to wherever Jon is going to be in the future.
But it seems like people in Westeros get information as if they had Twitter or something, because they know a lot of details.
Hopefully he'll know to send it to the right place, but it's hard to tell.
It is. But I think that at some point, people of Westeros would have to get to Dragonstone to get this dragon glass. And Dany is here, and she doesn't know what dragon glass does.
No, not yet at least. So she doesn't know how valuable her position is. But it really opens up for, like, either a confrontation or the opening of a dialogue between the warring parties. At least between Jon in the north and Daenerys in the south at Dragonstone.
Yeah, but can this mean that Jon starts marching south?
I think so. I don't think he can just stay in the north. I think that the White Walkers will come and they will probably be forced to retreat or move further and further south. That's at least my fear, that they're going to lose the north and everyone will have to gather in the south to beat this army of the undead back.
I think so too.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
No, I think the same thing. And then we have a scene where Sam collects like food from the sick or people in prison. I'm not sure, but they sound sick. And Jorah is there. And Jorah says,
at least we think it's Jorah.
It's his voice.
And you could see his profile.
And you can also see that he's becoming like a stone man. And
the grayscale is taking him.
Yeah. Has she come yet? Dun, 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 dun. And then it's the Dany scene where Dany comes with her boat. And it's this beautiful landscape. And then the dragon flies over her. And the dragons fly towards the castle. And then the dragons don't change scale. So they're the same size as they fly towards the castle. And then they fly around the castle. I'm like, damn, those dragons just grew in size. When
they're so big. They're so big.
So the people who did that did a bad job.
They kind of grew on that little flight.
They did.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe it's the proximity of the dragon glass.
Maybe.
Or maybe it just wasn't that far. I don't know.
No. You should go back and look at when they fly around the castle because it looks too
bad editing then. Bad.
The castle doesn't have any depth. It's flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And once again, empty place, empty castle, no people left on Dragonstone, which is kind of weird because there were like servants and fishermen and people living there before like what was his name? Baratheon. Yeah, Stannis Baratheon left. So that kind of struck me as being a bit odd. But what I did really like was the whole like Dany just putting her hand in the sand and like, I am actually here. I'm home. This is where I was born. Like that was a very nice like quiet moment for me. Even though it could have been really cheesy, I really liked it. And her clothing, I just have to say, I really like that she's wearing her house colors in this episode. Because the dress is black, but it has red beading on the shoulders. And those are the colors of House Targaryen.
It is so beautiful, that dress.
Yes,
oh
I want it. I need it.
I think we're gonna see a lot of cosplayers doing that dress. Maybe not a lot, but I'm thinking that Santatori might at one point do it because this is just up her alley, not just you know.
I mean, if I had the skill, I would make that dress, but I'm not at a level where I would be happy with what I would be able to make with that dress.
Not at all.
No. So
I might make it anyways because I just like the shape of it.
Yeah. But I really want to make Sansa's dress from this episode too because that was an impressive piece of clothing. Like it is, everything was just so gorgeous and it just speaks to my inner goth because everything is black and gray and red and dark and like
Celia Hansen is always also bringing up something that I also thought. The only weird thing I thought, to be honest, is that there's no dust in the castle.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird too. There was a few like light holder things that were pushed over.
Yeah.
But there were no spider webs, there were
No.
no dust, there were no like feces, nothing.
Yeah.
And that kind of struck me as weird, especially since there were no people there anymore.
It looked like it had been scraped clean and like evacuated or something. I don't know what.
Or maybe they're just really nice draft.
Yeah, maybe they have a good draft. Like maybe it's ventilated well. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's no people in King's Landing either when Cersei and Jaime's talking to each other.
No, very few, except for the painter, but he leaves.
He leaves, yeah.
Yeah, it's the embroidery that scares me too, and the fabric manipulation on her chest piece, like the dragon scale stitching and all of that. It's like so intimidating.
Yeah. What do we think about her last sentence?
But the one thing I really like struck me by the whole Dany scene getting to, castle.
Yeah.
Is that it was a very long scene with no dialogue whatsoever.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Until the very last. So and that shows that how good actors they are that they can play such a long scene or so many cuts into a scene without actually saying anything and still manage to get the emotions.
Yeah, definitely, because you could feel that it was emotional. It was like a big moment. You felt that this is big for that character. But also one thing I kept thinking as, poor Tyrion Lannister who had to walk all those stairs.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Twice as long as everyone else.
Yeah.
No, but it was more, he had a harder time when he and Jorah tried to get to where Dany was. I think he's experienced worse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so what do we think about her last, line? Shall we begin?
To be honest, I feel like this episode, the first episode of Game of Thrones, has been, except for the first scene with Arya, it has lacked a lot of action.
Yeah.
Nothing really has happened. It just has only been people and us, the viewers, seeing where these people are at.
Yeah, it's been like a setup, like, this is where we are, now go. Kind of thing.
It's like a prequel. It's not really the beginning, it's a prequel.
Yeah.
And that's why the last comment from Daenerys is so good, because everything is like a build up, here we are, and now, shall we begin?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely...
That's where the Game of Thrones begins.
Yeah. Because it definitely felt like a setup scene, like a setup episode. Like, this is episode 1. We're going to explain to you where we're at right now. And I didn't mind, just because the first scene was so fucking awesome. And it was told in a good way, and it was edited well, mostly, and you got some key, pieces of information that you kind of need to be able to, move forward and understand the consequences and stuff.
Yeah. And I don't really see why people are being negative around this episode, because...
No, me neither.
I'm really pleased.
Yeah, I was excited as fuck. I cannot wait for episode 2.
Agreed.
Ugh.
Also, now let's move into question time!
Yes, and so if anyone wants to join us, now is the time. Send us a message and we will send you a link to the chat so you can join us. Just have a mic and a headset and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, just letting you know that. So
where do we think that the biggest battles of this season will take place?
I'm guessing... no, I'm not very good at geography in real life. I'm even worse in, fantasy worlds. But maybe somewhere between where the White Walkers go, past the Great Wall, down towards, where Cersei is. Because I'm guessing she's situated closer to the Great Wall than Dany is.
Yes, she is. Dany is further, like, southeast. Cersei's probably, she's not in the middle of the map, but she's a bit down. But, like, if Jon's here, Cersei's here, Daenerys is down here somewhere.
Yeah, because if Jon is going to get the dragon glass, I'm guessing he won't maybe leave the north totally unguarded, but I'm guessing he will take a lot of his army with him, you know, because it's gonna pass Cersei.
I think if Jon leaves the north, he's gonna leave no one behind. Then everyone is coming along because no one is safe there.
No, I agree. I think the biggest, like, the end finale battle will be in King's Landing, but I don't know if that's going to happen this season or the next season.
I think it's going to be next season because...
Yeah, I think so too.
This season, I think we're going to see a battle between Euron Greyjoy and the other two Greyjoys, and maybe Daenerys, who knows. But they're going to probably be down at Dragonstone. And we're also going to see a battle between the White Walkers and the Wildlings up in the north at the castle.
Right. Right. So we've been joined by our first guest. Welcome, Alex. Hi.
So, I've been taking notes on my tiny post-it notes.
Oh, I love it.
Talking.
Awesome.
So, because I have a thing for Easter eggs when I watch an episode. So the first Easter egg I want to mention is in the scene between Cersei and Jaime, where they are standing on the map is actually quite significant, because she's standing, if you notice, where she's standing is where the map is the smallest, and that area of the map is nicknamed the neck. Where Jaime's standing, there are a couple of islands named the Fingers. So she's standing where the neck is, and he's standing where the finger is.
Oh my god! Mind blown!
Yes!
Holy shit!
The thing is though, Game of Thrones throws really obvious stuff at you, and then don't do it at all, so it might just be a really big red herring.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see it and catch it.
The
other thing...
I need to watch this episode again now. Sorry, it just...
The other thing is that people think that the gift Greyjoy is talking about is the sand snakes.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. That thing hasn't crossed my mind at all.
Because they have to involve Dorne some way, because they were really important last season, and there's no obvious way other than Greyjoy for them to come back into it. And there's also like some promo pictures for the next episode that hints at the fact that it's maybe... I don't know if he's going to bring them back alive or not, but we'll see. What was the other thing? Yeah, the Jagger and the prisoner you mentioned after I had wrote them down, so I won't bring them up again. The song Ed Sheeran is singing is actually a song from the books that has never been featured in the show yet.
Ah, cool.
Oh,
which one?
So nice.
I don't remember what the name of it is, but what he's singing is lyrics from the books.
Cool. I'm going to have to
Awesome.
Google that later, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So it's not just a random song, and it's not a song he's come up with. It's a song he's like just singing to from the books. Of course, they had to come up with some sort of melody behind it, but and then the thing with Littlefinger. I wanted to mention that again, it's so hard to know where Littlefinger stands always.
Yeah.
But I think Sansa is still a bit naive, because when she says, I know what he wants, he never has just one plan.
This is true.
And I think he knows that she thinks he's only after her because she looks like her mother. I think he makes her think that, but I don't actually think that's what he's after. He's always had a backup plan. He's probably still talking to King's Landing.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can't trust him at all.
And then the thing with the dagger you mentioned briefly, the name is the cat's paw, I think. In a promo picture, Arya has it on her belt. So I don't think she actually goes to King's Landing. I think she somehow finds out that some of her siblings are still alive, and then just does a 180 and goes back up, and hopefully gets rid of Littlefinger.
I would really like to see that. If Arya is the one to kill Littlefinger, that would be epic. Like,
because I think, like you mentioned about how Arya and Sansa are now sort of on the same level. I think the little bit that still differentiates them is how they perceive Littlefinger. So I think Arya is just going to be like, Sansa, do you want me to kill him? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Then.
All right. I did some Googling, and apparently the song that Ed Sheeran was singing is a song called Hands of Gold, and is sung by Simon Silvertongue, which was a performer in the brothel where Tyrion originally met Shay in the books.
Yeah.
And
they didn't use that for the show when it was supposed to be used. So they've now used it.
They had it as a backup or something, I guess. And there's a really funny tweet here by Brianna J. Flynn. Aria, that's a pretty song. I've never heard it before. Ed Sheeran, it's new. Buy my album on iTunes. That's kind of cute.
It's interesting though how they chose to use the song now and not earlier. So which characters can this song apply to now? Because that song Tyrion sings or like mouses to himself while he kills Shay in the books, if I remember correctly. So that song might be relevant to some other characters now.
Yeah, because there's someone with a hand of gold out there, so...
Yeah, Jamie, gold!
Yes, yes, it all fits, it all fits.
The thing is, though, when it's too obvious, like, oh, everything falls into place, the show just goes, nah, it was just a bluff.
Yeah, you never know.
They haven't even filmed fake scenes for this season. They filmed fake meetings between different characters just to throw off media. It's
like, they say they have done that just to confuse us. If they might have filmed some fake scenes, the question, for example, you have some set photos or like paparazzi photos that was really popular, that was of Dany and Jon meeting. So people were like, oh, so they filmed this and let people take photos, so it's a fake scene. But they might just be saying it's a fake scene, so people still get surprised when they see it.
Yeah, it could happen. I think they're gonna meet at some point. I just don't know if it's gonna be in this season or not. If
Jon gets the information from Sam about that mountain, he's definitely going to want to go there.
Yeah, for sure.
The thing is though, he kind of has a dilemma. If he goes south, it's probably going to come back to bite him in the ass with the White Walkers. But he can't stay in the north either because he needs the dragon glass. So it's like a bad choice either way.
Yeah.
I feel bad though for the wildlings that just voluntarily said, yeah, we'll go to the castle, and now we know that is where hell will go down.
Yeah. Feel sorry for them.
Gain's vision, so it's just like, yeah, goodbye, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah, bye-bye. No, but, I mean, it could also be a possibility that Jon goes south to meet with Daenerys or to go to Dragonstone and leaves Sansa in charge. I don't know how possible that is or plausible, but, I mean, it could maybe be a thing.
Something like that is going to happen, but not just like that. Because in the trailer... I think in the trailer you see Jon fighting in the snow. You can see him fighting with wildlings or someone that seems like Jon. So I think that maybe Sansa will be at Winterfell, but Jon goes north before he at some point decides that this is lost. We have to go south, and then everybody leaves Winterfell and goes south.
Maybe.
There are so many ways this could go. It's so exciting. I like not knowing. It makes it so interesting because a lot of TV shows I can fairly easily predict how things are going to go down just because I've studied like media science and alternative film and narratology and literary science and things like that. So I know how people build stories, and often I can predict what's going to happen. But a lot of the times I can't do it with Game of Thrones, and that's one of the reasons why I think I like it so much.
Yeah, I can predict most shows too, but not because I've studied a lot of, nerdy stuff like you have. It's just because I've watched a lot of movies.
Yeah, I do the same. My ex-boyfriend didn't want to see movies with me because I was like, oh, this is gonna happen, and it happened. He was like, fuck you! And then we broke up. No, that's not the reason we broke up at all.
But yeah, I think that's the reason why.
I agree with that. For example, like the scene with Tormund. I think it doesn't matter how much you've studied media. I think you had no way of telling. Just like, okay, he went out of shot. What's going to happen now? Oh, it just popped out of the window. Like it was so like there was no build up to it, and that's why. Like there's some problematic stuff with Game of Thrones, but that is like one of the best qualities of Game of Thrones. It's never predictable. Maybe sometimes, but it's like it needs to be predictable because it's still a good scene. With like a battle, it has to be a battle, for example.
Yeah.
Get my explanation.
Okay. Yeah. No. Go ahead.
No, I'm done with my notes.
Okay, cool. If anyone else wants to join us for the last few minutes of the show while we go through our last questions, now's the time. You can if you want to.
I like
and Alex, you can stay if you want to too.
Lucia Ferris says that Game of Thrones make me scared to get attached to the characters. I refuse to say out loud the names of my favorites.
I can understand that.
Because then they will die.
Exactly. But is there a possibility the White Walkers win, Sahara Sarah says? Yeah, it might be, because George R. Martin is a fucking...
masochist / sadist.
No, I love him.
Yeah,
he's great.
No, he's great.
The thing to remember though is that they would win, but they would only win by inhabiting one continent unless they built boats. So they still wouldn't take over the whole world. There would still be people to potentially fight back.
Yeah, unless they freeze the oceans or something.
Yeah, but it's the thing that the Archmeister Ebro says. There have been a lot of winters, and
they've all passed.
So, I mean, of course, you shouldn't, just shrug it off that this will be no different and stuff like that. But it's a possibility that this time it will maybe be much more bloodshed and much more people getting annihilated and stuff like that, and perhaps even whole kingdoms will be eradicated. But still, I think that humans will still survive.
The thing though that makes everything he said before kind of just seem bittersweet, because he says all of that everything persists, and then he makes the ultimate thing you should never say in Game of Thrones, which is an ultimatum. It never happens. He says the wall has never fallen. And I'm just like, no, why did you word that out? Now it's no.
But if the White Walkers does what Clegane has foreseen, they just walk around it. They don't actually break it.
The thing is, though, the reason they can walk around it is because Bran now has sort of weakened the enchantment, because he was touched by the White Walker and he has now crossed the wall.
Yeah. There were
So again, back to, is Bran just like accidentally being the Antichrist of the
Yeah,
Games world.
it
not
could be.
intentionally being it.
He's the
Like, he
biggest
doesn't
idiot.
do it.
Yeah. Also, there are very few watchers on the wall left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were undermanned to begin with. Boy, do they have an issue now.
They will have help by the wildlings, though.
Yeah, but still.
We'll see how that
yeah.
goes. But there is one issue that Greta has brought forth in the chat, which I find terrifying and is probably the most scary person that could ever enter as a White Walker. She says, still think that Joffrey should be a White Walker.
Yeah, that thought terrifies me.
He was never burned.
Yeah, no, but I don't think it's going to happen, though.
I don't think that would be a problem, really. I mean, he's a White Walker and he's like, smash, you're dead.
The thing though is that there's different levels of White Walkers. You
Yeah.
have the Ice King, which he's highly intelligent and basically the same as any living being. And then you have like his minions that you see a lot of walking around the giants, where all the flesh have rotted away and you can only see bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sort of have the same with the people being resurrected by the Lord of Light. You have two people we know of so far. They are highly functioning zombies, like John and
Beric Dondarrion.
Beric Dondarrion. They are both highly functioning zombies, if you can call them that.
Unless they've been actually genuinely resurrected, like as in Paladin's spell, but I'm not sure if that's the case.
The thing is though, Joe Martin has said that they are sort of similar, and like one of them has been resurrected, is it now 7 or 8 times, and Martin has stated in a recent interview that he's losing more and more of his memories, meaning that his mind is deteriorating. So does that mean that everyone that is being resurrected, doesn't matter by which god, is to different degrees still decaying to some point?
Hard to say.
That is also why I mentioned in the comment section that both Daenerys and Jon cannot have a hair, because he's a walking zombie and he technically doesn't have a heartbeat, if I remember correctly. And she sacrificed her unborn child when she burned her husband at the pyre, so she is technically not able to have birth, but it's been hinted in the books that she's getting it back. So if they somehow magically has a child, that child is going to be weird.
Yeah, it's gonna be special. Yeah.
A demigod.
But like Mirima's dude had like this prophecy that your womb will quicken when the sun sets in the blah blah and the moon rises in the blah blah, or what, something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but it kind of hints to her maybe actually being able to have children if something special happens.
What if Jon, he is awoken by the Lord of Light? What if he just becomes like the fire version of the Night King?
You never know.
That's the theory.
He's like dating.
But yeah, Cece has a theory that she would like us to bring up, and that is back to the costumes in the show again. Everyone is wearing like black or dark gray, except for Varys, who is wearing gold, and she is like, does that mean something? It isn't. Well, gold is a Lannister color. What is that all about?
He's always worn
yeah,
bright colors.
Yeah, he has. So I don't know if if it means anything or not.
He's always done things to just survive. He's never really taken any sides. He's only there for himself, and he doesn't really have any other. Or no, he does.
Yeah, he's taken sides. Yeah.
He has a side. He's part of people that is basically like the theory of the Targaryen restoration thing. So he's the only one that thinks that maybe he's wearing lighter colors because he's the only one in the show that is just like, things are looking up. I'm so much closer to my goal, and everyone else is just things are going to shit.
We have so many more things to do before we have reached the goal. And he's like, no, we're there already. Good.
Yeah. But something he mentioned in I don't remember if it was when talking to Ned Stark or Peter Baelish, was that he serves the people, or the country. He doesn't serve himself or a specific ruler. He just wants peace and stability. If you believe what he says, that's what he wants. So that it could be that is what he's working for.
And he thinks that Daenerys is the one that is closest to the goal.
Yeah, like she's the lesser of all of the evils.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, if he ever comes to meet Jon, maybe it's just like, nah, if I find out he has Targaryen blood, nah, I think I'll go with him. You have... Daenerys was showing some slight Mad Queen vibes herself last season, so she's like, Also, there's a parallel in the episode with both Daenerys and Cersei having a map.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many things to think about. We have some more questions on our cheat sheet, I think, that we should try to get through.
Who do we think will definitely die this season?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I don't know.
Next season or next episode?
Next season this season.
Throughout this season, who will die? Definitely.
I don't want to say who I think will die. I would rather say who I want to die.
Yeah.
Again, the thing with the dagger could be a red herring, just to screw with our minds. But Littlefinger, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen this season, but I do think that Cersei is going to be killed. She's going to die at some point. She's not going to make it.
There has to be some major character dying.
Yeah.
This season. And I think they have to sacrifice someone that people really enjoy or like. So
yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna kill Samuel.
Yeah, either he's gonna be shunned from the capital, or he's gonna die, sadly, because he is done. He's done something.
I don't know. I just have this sinking feeling that one of the Stark kids are gonna die at some point, because there are 3 of them left. And I hope that's not true. I really genuinely don't want that to happen, but that might be a thing.
I sadly think that Sansa is either going to die this season or next season. I'm sorry to say it, but...
I don't think this season is the season of mass dying.
No.
I think it's the next season that is going to be really bad.
Yeah. But I do think... Maybe...
Or one of the Lannister brothers might die. It's a possibility.
This season, maybe... I think that probably the Hound is gonna die, because now we have a lot of sympathy for him. So this is the place for him to die.
Yeah. Maybe he sacrifices himself, and just to save someone, or to do something important. And kind of, tries to make up for all the shitty things he's done by just doing that.
But I think...
yeah, because he's...
No, I don't think he's going to die, because I get the feeling that he wants to die.
Yeah, that's true. He might want it too bad.
People who want to die don't get that wish fulfilled.
Greta is saying Brienne, she's too nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but I really wish she won't die, but...
She has a Valyrian steel sword called Oathkeeper. She still has a role to play. I don't know what it is, but until she's completed that, she's not gonna die.
She will defend Sansa to the grave.
Yeah, I think Brienne will die defending Sansa at some point. But I don't know if it's going to happen this season or not. Let's see. Lucia Farah says Cersei. Greta said Brienne. Sahar.
Littlefinger will kill Brienne because she defends Sansa and gets in his way.
Maybe.
I have a one.
Okay, go.
I have a horrible. If any of the Star Kids, we have 3 left. I don't think Arya's gonna die. I think Jon is too important. If Sansa is going to die, it's going to be her doing it, like intentionally taking someone else with her.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. Yeah, she's definitely not that.
If she somehow finds out that, okay, I'm going to die anyway, I might as well just take as much people with me that I don't like.
That's possible.
Maybe Orlando would do that in Highgarden if someone comes to, like, I don't know.
Oh, it's so hard to say. Ugh.
But
I think the Greyjoy dude is going to get backstabbed.
Yeah.
How far into the season? I don't know. Pretty much. Or any of the other Greyjoys.
Yeah. There's gonna be at least 1 or 2 less Greyjoys in the world after this.
And there's one thing we haven't talked about is the fucking mountain. Like, he's going to have to die again at some point, and he's a flesh golem. That's the only way I see him now. He's like a walking flesh golem.
He's a zombie.
Yeah, because people thought that both he and Clegane would go down killing each other.
Yeah.
But now that Clegane seems like a different life goal than fighting him.
Both of them have changed big time.
Yeah, so it's interesting, like, where is the end for the mountain? Him.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. And also, they haven't really explained, like, how his loyalties work.
No.
So it's just like, because he is around Cersei all the time, so whoever it is, if it's Arya in a mask or either of her brothers that is eventually going to kill her, they have to go to the mountain.
Yeah.
Arya has the mountain on her list, so.
Yeah.
True.
Man, that's gonna be a tough one.
It is. Maybe he's the one to take Arya down.
Maybe.
Oh no.
I hope not. No. That would be horrible.
The size difference. No.
I'm just
so unfair.
I'm just not hoping it's gonna be like the scene with Oberyn again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's gonna be that, because this time he won't use his hand, he's just gonna stomp on her head to squash her like a tomato.
Yeah, but the thing is, Arya will not make the mistake of stopping and gloating and talking to the mountain, I don't think. If she fights him, I think she's going to be very focused and concentrated.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you guys seen... Have you guys seen the teaser for the next episode?
No, we haven't.
Yes.
Or, well, I haven't, at least. I need to.
So, that is not something that is going to be discussed then.
No.
But the teaser is really short, and you find it on YouTube. It's not hard to find at all.
No.
It seems so funny. I like it.
But you can talk about it. I don't mind. I'm going to watch it later anyway. It's not a spoiler for me if you guys want to talk about the teaser.
No talking.
Oh, okay. You mind. Okay. Then we won't do that. Do we have anything else left on the list, or are we good?
Who will be the Dany's Dragon Riders? Do you want to talk about this now, or do we want to talk about it later?
I mean, we've brought it up earlier, and as I pointed out, I think Bran might be one of them, like, warging into the dragon. Maybe. It's just a theory. Don't know if it's plausible, but thinking
But they
maybe.
say that only a Targaryen can be a dragon rider.
Yeah. So Jon seems likely. There aren't any other Targaryens left besides him and Dany.
Well,
That's why.
what you think. That's what you think. Because there's a lot of stories and theories about Tyrion being a real Targaryen. And that's why Tywin has always hated Tyrion. Because there's a part of their story where the mother of the Lannister children had a thing with the Mad King.
Ah, that's possible. Sure.
But
sure.
also that, like, prophecy of only Targaryen people can ride a dragon rider. I don't think they took wargs into account.
No, I don't. I think warging it
Oh.
could be an option.
And also supporting the Tyrion thing, though.
Yeah.
In the books, he is described in like a Targaryen. He has more Targaryen features, like his hair, for instance, and other things.
Yeah, he looks a bit different in the show.
Yeah.
And also, it was the scene from the last season when he takes the shackles off the dragons. You're just like,
Yeah, that's
did you
true.
just have a moment with the dragons?
He did.
He did.
So, again...
He has been obsessed with dragons ever since he was a little boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He loves them. So that could be some nice foreshadowing for later events to come.
Again, is it a breadcrumb that is actually going to be a thing, or just another red herring? That is the frustrating part.
It's the magic of Game of Thrones. We don't know because we can't foresee it. We can't.
We just
Amazing.
can't. Cecilia asks, could Jorah fly a dragon? He's basically glowing cold, so he's fire.
Probably burn up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. But Jorah still has a part to play. That's for sure. But I do not know what that is. Yeah, and Greta says, Bran wouldn't ride the dragons, but control them from the ground. Yes, he would be warging it, controlling its mind. That
Which
could
one,
possibly
though?
happen. Yeah, hard to say. Oh, yeah, no.
Because Daenerys wants the big bad, but it seems like also that he sort of controls the two others. So if you want to be completely sure that they listen to you, wouldn't having the biggest one be controlled by a human be best?
Hard to say. Well, yeah. No, this is... This episode has just made me think about so many different things that I hadn't really thought about before properly. So now my head is just swimming with theories about Game of Thrones. It's crazy. I think Sunniva's stream maybe froze, and I think Tonya froze.
What just happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they fell out. Oh, there. Tonya's back. Something must have happened. But I see that as a sign of maybe us wrapping up, because we're very close to having live streamed for 2 hours about a 1 hour episode of Game of Thrones.
That's what you get when 3 or 4 people talking about the show.
Yes, that's true.
I'm back.
Yeah. So, Alex, what did you think of this episode of Game of Thrones spoilers? Was it fun to watch and participate in?
Yeah. I enjoy talking to people about theories, and especially Easter eggs, because it's like a hobby, or just, oh, that's interesting, that's interesting.
You should
Especially
be like...
the one with the map with Cersei
Yeah.
and Jamie. That's so on the nose when you notice it, that it's just like...
is. You know
I
what?
see what you did there.
You should be like a regular like columnist on the episode. So you can keep an eye out after Easter eggs, and if you find some, we'll invite you back on the show and you can talk about them.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will keep my post-it notes for the next episode.
Yes.
Awesome. I only have one more thing on my cheat sheet.
Yeah.
And that is, do we want to cosplay anyone from...
All of them? Like all of them?
I want to cosplay Daenerys with a black dress if I have to cosplay anything.
Yeah. I would like to cosplay Daenerys, either in the black dress or the navy blue one from the last episodes of season 6.
No, but only this episode.
Oh, only this episode. Okay, well, Daenerys in her black dress, or Sansa in her black dress.
Right.
Yeah, those two.
Either way, it's gonna be a black dress.
Yes.
Little black dresses. I actually, if I could have done it, I would either choose Daenerys's black dress or Cersei's the second dress, the armor dress. It's so beautiful. Oh my god.
It is. Alex, how about you?
I've had Jon Snow on my plans for a long time, but they change and slightly modify their outfits from almost every episode, so I'm just like, I don't know which version to make, so we'll see.
Just
Maybe
make your own version.
do it.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I have the sword standing in my room. I just need the rest of the costume.
And Cece is correcting me. The dress is not black; it's dark brown, apparently. So.
Guys, it's brown. Fine, fine.
The only thing about cosplaying from this season is that since winter has come, the costumes are getting more and more layers and getting warmer and warmer. So it's winter cosplays.
Yes, for sure.
We would get nice pictures out in the snow anyway.
Yeah, that's a benefit of living in Norway.
Yes, exactly. That's going to be good. Okay, so Sahara Sara has a good question that we will end this episode with. And that is, who do you want to sit on the throne in the end?
Jon Snow together with Daenerys.
I would say, I'm not... Is it who do we want or who do we think?
Who do we want?
Okay. I want... I think I would have wanted to see Tyrion or Sansa on the throne at the end.
Yeah, I agree. Sansa. I would really love to see Sansa on the throne in the end. And if they end up together, that would just be like poetic, ironic.
King, the Night King deserves it. No.
Sansa would be really cool, or a Jon Snow Daenerys matchup. That would be cool too. I mean, it's very, like, on the nose, but it would be, like, I would be happy with that outcome, but Sansa would be spectacular.
Littlefinger!
Now everyone hates you. How about you, Alex? Who would you like to see on the throne at the end?
I'm trying to think of funny endings with people sitting on the throne.
The Hound.
Like if no one sits on the throne, like what if only like one of the dragons or one of the Stark wolves are the only one left to sit there?
Ooh.
Greta had the best answer. Lady Mormont.
Yes! Lyanna Mormont! That would be fab.
Or there might not be a throne to sit on in the end, and no one's sitting on the throne. You have like the really, really far back vision that Daenerys had of a broken throne room. So
that's true.
There
Covered
might
in
be
snow.
There might be no one.
I would love to see Tormund.
How with Brienne?
Yes! Yes! Brienne is Tormund.
Just the most off ever.
Yes.
Just imagine their wedding night.
Oh.
That would, so many fun outcomes. So many fun things that could happen. Okay, so we're going to wrap up this episode because we've been doing this for 2 hours now.
Yes.
So we have to say goodbye and call it quits for tonight. But this is going to be a weekly thing. We're going to try to do this every week after Game of Thrones. I'm not sure if it's always going to be on a Thursday. We're going to have to just see how that works with our schedule, but we're going to try to keep it at a weekly, steady, like on like a regular day every week. Yes. So
and we're gonna keep up so if anyone wants to join in on this episode things, they can send us a request and we can try to make it happen. And also if you find Easter eggs or any other interesting things you want us to talk about, please send it our way.
Or just let Alex deal with that because he's so good at it.
Yeah,
you're just doing a very good job.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was so much
Cecilia says, no, don't go!
But remember, we're gonna have a live stream on Saturday.
Yes!
2 days from now, and it's gonna be a super long one. We have scheduled from 7 to 11, but it's not shaped in stone that we will quit at 11. We might quit at 1 o'clock at the night, who knows. We're just gonna see how far it takes and how much energy we have to do it. But
there will be giveaways. There will be we will be doing cost tests of characters that you guys have suggested to us. We have gotten so many good suggestions on Instagram. We're going to have drop-in guests, and we're going to do internet meme challenges. So we hope you join us on Saturday at 7 o'clock here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
And Q&A. If you have Q&A questions for us, please send them our way so we can prepare an awesome answer for you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna also try to talk a little bit about ourselves in a way we haven't done before, about our backstories, how we ended up into the cosplay universe, and how we ended up into the geekery, nerdy theme of it all. So we might shed some tears. Who knows?
Yeah. We're just there. Lots of stuff is going to happen. You need to see it. Okay. Yes. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week for another game of spoilers. Yes. So bye everyone, and take care, and remember the internet is dark and full of spoilers. Okay, bye.
Bye.